It's time to talk about Disney Plus again. Here we are again talking about everyone's favorite topic, Disney Plus, which I'm honestly kind of surprised a good chunk of my audience is as interested in Disney Plus as it is, because I honestly thought it would be kind of a topic that would get a lot of hate, because I think a lot of people would actually prefer if the Disney movies just stayed on services like Netflix, for instance, instead of, Disney going off and starting off this whole new thing. But there is some interesting content promised for the service, and hey, even I'm kind of fascinated in it myself. So there's been quite a few things going on with Disney Plus, or even the things surrounding the service as of late, some of which were announced during D23, which I didn't really get to because around this time of D23 I was going through a lot of personal problems in my life. That, and also me and my sis didn't really have the best experience at D23, which I don't blame on the convention. I think it was just because, of some really bad circumstances that were happening around me and my sis at the time. But I figured I may as well give my take, as well as I wanted to spend a good amount of my video discussing something that I'm wondering might happen with Disney Plus, when it launches or even going forward with the service. And I also wanted to talk about where I think Disney Plus may go with a certain amount of its content, so I'll spend a good chunk of that video focusing on that. But I want to get some other things out of the way first before I get to the core of this video. So the first thing I'll talk about is that Disney Plus has gotten some international release dates and pricing, so that we know that it is launching on November 12th in the US, but the service is also coming to Canada, the Netherlands, Australia, and New Zealand, and you can see release dates here in this video as well as pricing. So if you want, you can pause the video to see how much Disney Plus will cost and how much it'll be coming and when it will be coming to your country if you live there. And also they've announced where Disney Plus, where you'll be able to use the service in terms of what devices it'll support. You can see a list of them here. A lot of Apple and Sony devices are on this list. I am still kind of hoping, only because I mentioned this in a previous video, that I'd like to see maybe Nintendo have Disney Plus brought over to the service, but I think that's just going to be a thing we'll have to wait and see, especially since the streaming services on the Nintendo Switch, they mainly have things like Hulu and YouTube on Switch for now, but it would be nice to see them add even more services on top of the ones that they've already got. And the other thing I wanted to very briefly go over is that Disney's CEO Bob Iger has actually resigned from Apple's board of directors, which I think it's kind of obvious, and a lot of sources were saying this too. It's because now Disney, and even though Disney Plus is coming to a lot of Apple devices, Disney and Apple are now kind of competitors. Although between Apple TV Plus, which I talked about before, and Disney Plus, I personally would prefer Disney Plus between the two. So mainly wanted to go over that. The main focus of this video is actually going to be on some of the additional content that has been announced for Disney Plus. So really big one is that a Lizzie McGuire sequel series is actually coming over to Disney Plus, and Hilary Duff will be coming back in the title role. So I'm sure for a lot of Lizzie McGuire fans, that's really big news. And also, we knew that a Phineas and Ferb movie was coming, but we didn't really have too much information to go off of. Well, now it has a title. It's going to be called, as I look at my iPad, talking about Apple, it's going to be called Phineas and Ferb the Movie, Candace Against the Universe, and Variety is saying that movie will be coming out in 2020. And speaking of release dates, we don't really have release information for the Lizzie McGuire sequel series, so that release date will probably get announced closer to when that actual series will be coming out on Disney Plus. And this next thing I'm going to talk about is more sort of a rumor, and that is Proud Family actor Tommy Davidson told Where Is the Buzz that a Proud Family reboot is coming to, as he put it, one of Disney's streaming services. So that one is really kind of hard to talk about, mainly because we don't really know too much what's going on. Disney themselves hasn't confirmed that they are indeed doing a Proud Family reboot. We don't know if such a reboot is happening. We don't know, if it's coming to Disney Plus. Disney Plus would probably be the obvious contender, because the only other place would be for Hulu. And even then, Hulu, it sounds like, is mainly going to become a place where Disney puts more of their adult adult-oriented content. But since that's more sort of a hearsay sort of a thing, I don't really want to focus too much on that video. If that is announced for Disney Plus, maybe I'll do another video talking about it, but for now it's more sort of kind of a rumor to me. But with these announcements, with Lizzie McGuire, the sequel series, and Phineas and Ferb, Candace Against the Universe, it kind of makes me wonder, especially since these are throwbacks. You know, Lizzie McGuire hasn't had new episodes in years, and Phineas and Ferb, even though they just did that crossover with Milo Murphy's Law, that particular series hasn't had new episodes or it's in quite a while. It does make me kind of wonder if Disney Plus is going to become the future home of things like revivals for Disney. Like, I know with things like with Disney live action remakes, I think that a good chunk of them will still come to theaters, even though, yeah, Lady and the Tramp, that live action remake is coming over to Disney Plus. Things like the Mulan live action remake and Maleficent the sequel are still headed to theaters. But with things like the Lizzie McGuire sequel series and Phineas and Ferb, Candace Against the Universe, since they're kind of throwbacks to some of Disney's past television shows, it kind of makes me wonder if Disney Plus is going to become the future home of things like revivals or reboots of television in series from Disney. It's kind of like, I'm kind of wondering if Disney is taking a page out of Nickelodeon's book, since, they just came out with Rocko's Modern Life, Static Cling, and Invader Zim Enter the Florpus for Netflix. And, these are, television movies coming years after the original series had their runs. And they're still really good movies, don't get me wrong. I really enjoyed both Static Cling and Enter the Florpus. I'm just saying, I'm kind of wondering if Nickelodeon is taking that approach. And the interesting thing is, I remember Entertainment Weekly a while back had an article on Rocko's Modern Life, a Static Cling, and the show's creator Joe Murray basically said the reason why they're bringing the movie to Netflix instead of the Nickelodeon channel was because, as Nickelodeon felt that a lot of the audience had moved on from, Nickelodeon, like, they grew up and things like that. So they're like, we think the demographic has moved over to going to streaming services like Netflix, and that was why they brought over Static Cling over to Netflix instead of airing it on the Nickelodeon channel. So it kind of makes me wonder if maybe that's what's going on with Disney. And for Disney especially, because Disney Plus is their own service, it only gives them greater incentives. So I'm honestly kind of wondering if that's what's going on with Lizzie McGuire, the new Lizzie McGuire sequel series, and Candace Against the Universe. Even though, like I said, Phineas and Ferb just had a crossover with Milo Murphy's Law. I'm kind of thinking maybe Disney is like, hey, yeah, we need to find some way. We know that Phineas and Ferb still has, a pretty dedicated fan base, so we just need to find some incentive to get them to use Disney Plus. But as the saying goes, every cloud has its silver lining, so I'm thinking maybe this does give hope that maybe Disney will do some even more revivals on top of the ones that they've already done. Like, I know they've done things like Raven's Home and DuckTales 2017, which leads me, as I sing, to think, because I know that there's a huge demand for a Star vs. the Force of Evil 5th season. That series just ended a while ago. I know that a lot of my audience has also been clamoring for something to be done with the future of Star. So it kind of makes me wonder if this could give us hope that maybe, and I know some people talked about this before, but it does also make me wonder, maybe Disney, if they were to ever do, okay, there's no confirmed news that there's going to be like a Star season 5 or a movie or a reboot series. If anything, there's kind of confirmation that it sounds like nothing much is happening as of right now, at least in the form of like a new TV series or a movie. But the news of these franchises coming back to Disney Plus, it does kind of make me wonder, maybe that's where the future of Star, if they ever do a revival, that is, could be like, could they possibly do like a Star TV movie or reboot series, but instead of coming over to Disney XD or Disney Channel, would it come over to Disney Plus instead? And I know some other people have like long speculated and even want that, but it kind of makes me think that if Disney's ever going to do something with the future of of Star, it's probably going to be a reboot series or a new movie coming to Disney Plus. So I don't know. It's not like Disney is actually like coming out there and saying, oh yeah, every reboot and revival of TV shows we make is going to come to Disney Plus. But I am kind of wondering if the service is going to be the home to Disney's future, TV reboots and movies. I mean, I know, a lot of people will say streaming is the future, but I'm wondering, especially with what's been going on at Nickelodeon, or at least from what Rocco's creator Joe Murray has said in the case of Static Cling, it kind of makes me wonder if Disney is taking a page out of that book, and that's how they're going to treat, a lot of their television revivals and that sort of thing. I mean, it's definitely, it's not confirmed by Disney and that sort of thing, but it makes me wonder if Disney is going down that road. But let me know your thoughts down below. Do you think that a lot of Disney's television revivals are going to come over to Disney Plus? Do you think the contrary? Leave all those thoughts down below. Until next time, this has been Blood Moon Bobby, and thank you all for watching. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this Blood Moon Bobby video. Like and share the video if you enjoyed it, and feel free to leave a comment. Subscribe to my channel, and ring the bell to get notified when I release my latest videos. Follow me at Blood Moon Bobby on your favorite social media platforms to take part in polls, see my tech tips, and to hear about my video plans. Thanks for watching.